Um, right now, UNCITRAL, as we call it, is essentially the United Nations Commission on International Trade Law. Now, it came into being on June 21st of 1985, and I'll try to explain how and what relevance it does to the evolution of international commercial arbitration or arbitration in general. Okay, so to understand what UNCITRAL is basically that we need to understand that every state has very contrasting laws in general. A country A, B and C might not have same laws for a similar topic. Now, that's fine because, for example, if you are dealing with a topic like let's say murder or divorce, the genesis of those countries' cultures might be different and how they deal with it might be different. But arbitration has an international connotation to it, and arbitration is more often than not international in nature. So it needs comity of states. So in that regard, the domestic laws of arbitration that has been included in the state laws, for example, the Indian Arbitration Act of 1996 has to be somewhat similar to the Arbitrations Act which has been adopted in some other country. Otherwise, the uniformity goes away. So the UNCITRAL Model Law in general discusses what are the standards for implementation of arbitration laws. All procedure of the arbitral processes are covered, like in an UNCITRAL Model Law. For example, the arbitration agreement, how an arbitration agreement should be, the composition of an arbitral tribunal, whether there should be 3 arbitrators or a sole arbitrator, or how do we demarcate the appointment of arbitrators, what is the jurisdiction of arbitral tribunal, that is where we come to the principles of competence, the extent of court intervention in arbitrations, recognition and enforcement of arbitration awards, and the power to grant interim measures and preliminary orders. Now, to conclude, let's just put it that way, that UNCITRAL Model Law is nothing but an international understanding between countries on crucial elements to implement that in their state laws to have a uniform legal structure on arbitration globally applicable. That is what UNCITRAL Model Law does, but it is extremely fundamental to the understanding of arbitration laws. I think we're done with this also.